I will allow you to watch this video shortly, a whose success against terrorism and banditry in Nigeria. This is a story of a 30-year-old Shehu Ali Kashala, who specializes in supplying arms and ammunition to bandits and terrorists in Nigeria. In the video you will watch shortly, you can clearly see his confession, as he confessed that so far he has supplied about 4,500 rifles to bandits and terrorists. In addition, he equally confessed that he equally supplied about 8,000 live ammunition to bandits and terrorists. And information have it from the interrogation that he operates in the axis of Zamfara, Kaduna, and Niger State. I must say that this is a huge success and a major breakthrough that needs to be celebrated. Of course, it comes because you can imagine what the damages have done. This is just an individual supplying this number of ammunition, this number of rifles to bandits, to terrorists. We will watch that video shortly, but a quick one. Let us just take a brief look at what the military is doing currently in fight against insurgency, terrorism, so that I'll bring you that video to watch. The video you are watching on your screen capture moment. Nigerian military engaged the bandits, terrorists in the forest, in the bush. You can clearly see that our military, they are doing their best in the circumstance. I think from what we can see from this engagement, our military have the boldness to confront these bandits. I think what the part that is lacking is modern equipment, modern warfare, modern hardware that will enable them do the needful. Because from what I'm seeing, just as you can watch, I'm seeing the military that have the boldness to confront the bandits. See them in the bush, as you can clearly see, moving, advancing, and in what you can clearly see that the bandits are retreating. So I think this is purely a sign of bravery on the part of the Nigerian army. We must commend them. We must boost their morale. But again, it's not just about we boosting their morale as Nigerians. The government must do the needful, because we have seen so many instances, so many videos where the military personnel will come out to complain about the inferior weapons in their hands, as against what the bandits wield in some instances. Though we are all happy with the new appointment of a new, of course, Minister of Defense, who all Nigerians, every Nigerian, have agreed that he has what it takes to lead this fight against insurgency, terrorism, banditry. But I want to say that in practical terms, because the man Christopher Musa have made it very clear that he cannot afford to fail. So the way it is, he must do the needful. Because he cannot afford to fail means that he is ready to step on toes for us to get solution to almost everything, begging for answer. I must say that his position that he will investigate those who gave order for the withdrawal of those military from Kebbi school before the adoption of those Kebbi school children, that Nigerians are eagerly waiting to see his approach in doing that. And so many other issues begging for attention. Even the military man, Lieutenant General, that was killed in some mysterious circumstance, he have equally said that he's going to look into that. But as far as I'm concerned, we must support our military to do the needful. But before we go further, let us watch this man in question that, of course, caught the attention of the whole country with the number of ammunition, number of arms he has supplied to bandits, to criminals, to terrorists. Watch as we come back to further this conversation.
The influx of weapons into Nigeria has contributed to the spread of insecurity in almost all parts of the country. Many still wonder how criminals have access to deadly weapons to perpetrate evil, but this 30-year-old Nigerian citizen says he imports weapons from Niger Republic through the assistance of a military personnel who gives him cover at security checkpoints. According to him, he has sold 450 rifles, 8,000 live ammunition, and other deadly weapons to criminal groups in Zamfara and other states of the Northwest region. He made the confessional statement when he was arrested by troops of the Federal Intelligence Investigation Bureau in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital.
He
used to import the guns from Niger Republic. There's a military personnel who usually give me cover, especially at the checkpoints. I sold 450 rifles and 8,000 live ammunition to different criminal gangs in Zamfara, Kaduna, and Niger states. According to him, he developed interest in the business because of the high profit and turnover. He says he gains nothing less than 300,000 naira on each rifle sold, but the profit usually depends on the type of rifle. I sell rifles between 600,000 to 1 million naira depending on the make. I also sell ammunition at 1,100 naira each. The police say efforts are on the way to arrest other fleeing suspects. They are assured of their commitment to curb the influx of weapons into the country.
You are welcome back. What are your thoughts? Because we like to get your feedback, we like to get your opinion in issues like this. Because personally, I must say it's a welcome development, a breakthrough, a welcome development because such character have no business being in circulation. Because if an individual, just an individual, have so far supplied arms, rifle, up to 4,500 pieces to bandits, we should know the magnitude of what he's into. If he can even attest that he have equally supplied as much as 8,000 live ammunition to bandits, to terrorists, I want to believe that his arrest is a welcome development. I commend the effort of all the intelligence involved, all the personnel that painstakingly achieve this is commendable. We hope to hear more of this. As far as I'm concerned, I personally support every genuine effort of government to get Nigeria rid of terrorism, banditry. Because these are people who have no value for human life. It doesn't matter the opinion of the likes of Shegumi or even the chairman of Arewa Consultative Forum, who have been canvassing that the government should look towards amnesty for bandits. As far as I'm concerned, it is a misnomer. There's nothing like amnesty for bandits because these are common criminals as far as I'm concerned who have no business being in circulation. The best, I continue to saying it and I continue maintaining it, that the best the government can do under this circumstance is to arrest them, prosecute them, to act as deterrent to others. As a country, as a sovereign state, you must possess monopoly of coercive power. It's fundamental. Sharing some monopoly of coercive power enough for state actors, as far as I'm concerned, renders Nigerian sovereign state as a weak sovereign state. That is why when we saw the move of Nigerian government to procure about 29 fighter jets from Italy, for me it was a welcome development. When we saw the move of Nigerian armed forces, particularly the army, or rather the air force, to acquire about 49 fighter jets, I equally saw it as a welcome development because for me, it will increase and improve the ability of our air force to take out bandits. Yes. So as far as I'm concerned, bandits have no business negotiating with government. It beats all imagination where we see the pictures that go around at times in the internet, on social media space, seeing bandits sitting and negotiating with local authorities in Zamfara and Katsina, even though at some point the governor of Katsina would deny involvement. But the question is, if a state where you are the governor, where you are the governor and suppose chief security officer of the state, some persons in the name of bandits in the name of terrorists, we bear arm as much as what military could bear, come to regular communities to negotiate for peace. After the negotiation, goes back to their abodes, to the hiding places, to the forest, the bush, as the case may be. The question then now is, who now owns the sovereignty of the state? Because as far as I'm concerned, it implies that you are sharing monopoly of coercive power with those non-state actors. And I must say that it is unacceptable. It's unacceptable because as a country, you have no business sharing monopoly of coercive power with non-state actors. More so, as in some cases, it has been revealed that they even impose taxes. They impose levies on communities, give them condition upon which they must access their farmland to harvest their crops. Unacceptable position, I must say. But again, I welcome the idea of federal government talking about state police. But I must say that the state governors who have keyed into this must go beyond rhetoric. They must match their words with action. Why am I saying this? This is not far-fetched. Because I can remember vividly that the governor of Katsina State was emphatic the other time that as a governor that he had been able to acquire some level of technology that enables him to know the movement and location of bandits. At the time, he was complaining about his inability to command and control the security architecture to operation. But now that we have seen this idea of state police, I want to believe that if established, that is going to give the state governors the leverage, the power to command and control the security architecture in their respective states. So that is why I'm saying that the working of the constitution that we understand is at the level of the Joint Committee of the National Assembly, talking about the state, Senate, and the House of Representatives. Now, once it's completed, because the part of the constitutional requirement requires that the bill be sent to all the state houses of assembly to have their own buy-in. And the constitution have it that you must get a 2/3 majority of the state house of assembly endorsing it for it to come back to Mr. President for assent, for presidential assent. And if you look at 2/3 majority of 36, you are looking at about 24 states. So by implication, by the time it goes back to the states, at least 24 state houses of assembly must endorse it for it to come back to president for presidential assent. So this is where the governors have another job to do. Because we understand the influence they have over their respective houses of assembly members. So they should bring that influence to bear now to prevail on their respective houses of assembly, that when this bill comes to your table, give it attention, endorse it so that it can come back to Mr. President for assent. So that we can now roll out state police. Because as far as I'm concerned, if any open grazing is anything to go by, if bringing out security personnel to enforce it is anything to go by, it is the state police that will be established that can have what it takes to enforce it. And this is why I'm even currently encouraging all the states going forward to start enacting anti-open grazing laws in anticipation of course, the state police. Because we are continuing seeing some green lights from the presidency. Because the presidency have even come out to make it clear that everybody bearing arm illegally must be disarmed or should drop his or her arm. But let me say at this point that should come in form of an order, not an admonition. What am I trying to say in essence? That the president should give an order to security agencies to go ahead and disarm every bandit, every Fulani militias, every Fulani herdsman bearing arm. Because it makes no sense having them with arms as they roam about. Because I don't want to believe that they will willingly drop the arms. It takes a superior power from the point of strength on the part of government for them to surrender that arm, or those arms rather. So it should not just end with rhetoric. We want to see the persons responsible for taking action, swinging into action to do the needful. And to do the needful is ensure that they disarm all the bandits, all the terrorists, all the, of course, Fulani militias. And I want to believe that going forward, we need an environment that can even help the country, Nigeria, bring in foreign investors. But currently as it is, I want to believe that it will be very difficult to bring investors into an economy where there is insecurity as we currently see in Nigeria. But at this point, I must say very big thank you for time. This is Mr.